All right. Let's give the other stream a second here. I think it's just now getting synced up. All right. We'll be going over the market, going over today's plays, also cover Friday's plays, and talk about what to expect moving into the rest of the week. All right, I've been closed for about 2 minutes now, so let's get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for April 18th, 2022. Qs basically flat on the day. SPY also flat on the day. We'll put IWM back on here. IWM down a little bit more, 2/3%. Coming into today, actually coming into Friday as well, bearish on the Qs and SPY. Okay. We talked about how that this hadn't quite cleared anything to make us not be bearish, okay? But if we had come in and then went right back up, if we had gone back up and taken this out, then I would be neutral, okay, on the Qs and SPY for the time being, because we'd really be in kind of a choppy mess. Basically, the hourly would be ending the downtrend. But we just came in and kept on going. So that was easy to stay bearish, right? We outlined the one scenario basically that I would not be bearish, and then anything else we stay below, right, going to be bearish. And so came into Friday bearish, came into today bearish as well, because nothing has really changed. If you're in the room, you traded the open with me. And I said, first thing, to begin with, I'm not really expecting too much at the open. I think if we just kind of hang out for a bit, I think we can move lower later. But the hourly sell setup from here is basically coming into target. So it's not a place to have, an easy call as far as what the next immediate move is going to be. We moved up first, came back in. And I think we even came back, maybe made new lows. Yeah, we made new lows. We got a little bit of a bounce there as well. And so kind of back and forth here into the afternoon. If we kind of zoom out of kind of the sloppiness of today, then we see that today was a pretty narrow range day, neutral bar. Yeah, a little bit bullish on, you could say, but for me, it's mostly neutral. Okay, and we are unchanged. Okay, so that doesn't mean anything really for our market bias. Going into tomorrow, we're still going to be bearish. Okay. So again, we'll watch the hourly to see if the hourly were to move up in this hourly downtrend. That would inform us if the daily, weekly, monthly are going to move up, because hourly will form the pattern first. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But as of right now, going into tomorrow, still bearish. All right, let's start with Friday's play. Friday had a play on the GXO, now bearish on the market. Market's staying really weak, and really wanted to get something that looked really good and stick with it all day if I could. Here was the GXO gap right here. Okay. Now, this is the breakdown that we played in the morning here. Actually, we were getting pretty close to lunch, but played this breakdown here. I'll show you on the 5, then we'll go back to the 1. To the 5 here. So I played it this way, where I put all of this together. Okay. Put all of this together and played it that way. Now, you can see here, the size of the stop was kind of big. It was about $1. And so we only dropped about, I think, 80 cents. Yeah, no, 60, 70 cents. So it wasn't enough for me to take targets. And then we got the bounce, okay? And then I decided to trail over that pivot because it wasn't looking good. It was a strong reversal off the lows. Market was staying weak, and this one was moving up. So this was a partial loss on the GXO, okay? So that was the play from Friday. Now, I was planning on going over this play anyway today, since we didn't have a market wrap on Friday. Sorry, on Thursday. Keep saying Friday. I mean Thursday. Market was closed on Friday. Thursday, I was planning on going over this anyway. And kind of the interesting thing is that this really informed the next play. Okay, so let's get into this SCHW. So the SCHW did take 2 tries on this SCHW this morning. Okay, the first play triggered right here. Actually got me to the penny. Okay, my entry was 74.74. That is the low of this bar. I just wanted to get it under basically this green bar here, under 85. And it had like 6 to 8 cents spread, so 74. So a little bit unlucky there, but it's bound to happen. You take enough trades, sometimes you get tagged in or tagged out to the penny. So it got me to the penny. As soon as it reversed, I said, let's get ready to get out. And I told them, I'm killing it, basically, so we don't take a full stop. I still lost a little more than half an hour on this, on the reverse, and then I got out. Okay. But here you can see the adjustment that I'm making, right? On the GXO, I waited for low of the day to get taken out. And then as a result of that, that made it so that the follow through that we got wasn't really good enough. Now, what if I had done this? Okay, then that would have been a pretty nice play. You see that? Play more as a sell setup as opposed to a base breakdown. Okay, so then that's what I was looking to do on the SCHW. Okay, a little bit more aggressive because I'm bearish on the market and I'm bearish on this gap. Okay, here's the gap on the SCHW, gapping underneath the 200, right? And we were looking to clear that pivot. All right, so the first play, it went right back up. I said, let's kill it, and we'll look to replay. And that's what we did. On the replay here, we put all of this together here. And again, I'm not waiting necessarily for all support to get broken, that low to get broken. I'm playing it more like a sell setup. Okay, so here it is. See how that's got a little retracement there, and then got a series of higher lows, and I'm playing underneath. Okay, so that was the SCHW. Okay, that was the entry. All right, and then once we got going, if you remember from this morning, if you're in the room, we got back to break even pretty quick, right? And I said, but I'm not looking for break even. I wouldn't have, gotten involved to play this if that was what I was looking to do. So targets, we were looking for at least to get underneath 74. So once we broke through, then I went to 1 minute bar by bar. Okay, and then we took most of it 1 minute bar by bar, trailed right there. Now this is another aspect that I kind of took from the GXO. Now I don't consider the GXO management a mistake, but I did say when we were in it, if you want to take some 1 minute bar by bar over this, you can. Now I didn't feel like it was up enough to take, right? Because we weren't even up an R yet. But I said that's a lot of 1 minute bars in a row. We need to, you can look to protect. I'm hoping we can live through a pullback. Unfortunately, there was no pullback, that continued lower again. So that ended up being the bottom. So on the SCHW, once we started to get that nice follow through, now the difference is here on this SCHW, as we're coming in here, we're up like an hour and a half. So, okay, that's a lot better. That's twice what we were up on the GXO. Now it's actually worth taking. Okay, so we took most of it there. We got a strong bounce just like we did on the GXO, right? And then I said, okay, let's go ahead and, trail it. Okay, so that even, made very little on the last third there, but still made some and, didn't give the whole thing back, which we would have if we had kind of stuck with it. You can see it rallied pretty nicely there into the rest of the morning. Okay. So you can see there were kind of some things that I just, that maybe a little bit surprised at the GXO, the way that it acted, and then kind of took that into consideration in playing this SCHW. Overall, like the play. They reported earnings. We are now into earnings season. Things are picking up. So, hopefully a lot more plays to come. Although, to be honest, on this SCHW, I really did expect more from this still. So even though still was a nice play, yeah, I'm kind of surprised we didn't get better follow through because this stayed really weak even when the market was rallying at the open. So I was kind of surprised that, when the market started to come in, this, decided to bottom. So, but overall, I'm not really complaining. I think it was still, nice play, nice follow through. Replaying it was the right thing to do. I didn't consider it a revenge play really because it's at the time just the best setup that was out there. It just happened to be one that I've already tried. So that was the SCHW. Okay. So things will pick up, I think, especially into the end of this week. Hopefully it won't be, slow, but it'll pick up, if not this week, then next week. So, this is something to look forward to. Should be pretty exciting. All right. So hopefully you're looking forward to the rest of the week as well. All right, we'll be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.